back to Wellbeing Wednesdays, brought to you by the Tulane University Counseling Center. I'm one of your co-hosts. I'm Shawna Foose. I'm a therapist at the center, joined as always by my lovely co-host.
Hi, my name is Dr. Jinaki Flint. I'm a staff psychologist here at the Counseling Center, and we are joined today by Carolyn Barber Pierre, the Director of Intercultural Life here on campus and one of my favorite campus and community advocates. Welcome, Carolyn.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wish I had the applause button, cheer button.
We're so excited to have you, Carolyn.
So excited. Our first celebrity.
So I know you have a lot of news about your new space and a lot to share. So let's get right to it and hear all about all the exciting updates.
Yeah, we just recently, as of Friday, moved into our new center, the Carolyn Barber Pierre Center for Intercultural Life, which is located in the Richardson building on the academic side of campus, on the Uptown campus, right adjacent to the Center for Academic Equity, which is our kind of sister office. We both share the same populations, our BIPOC, our LGBT, our undocumented, first gen, and our office also includes all the religious life communities as well. I've been here for about 37 years, so I am so excited about the space. We are moving from an 1,100 square foot office to something larger than 3,500 square feet. So including, not only our offices, but hangout space for students, a prayer space for those who want, for our Muslim and other religious communities. We have a multi-purpose room, we have a warming kitchen and a meeting room. And we're just so excited that we have this opportunity to expand our resources and give various communities opportunities to come in and hang out and attend programs and do a variety of things. So we're ecstatic.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank
Yay,
you.
congrats. Yeah, the space is absolutely magnificent.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and we're still in boxes, so it's not completely the way we want it, but we will get there.
Yeah. But you can see the vision.
Yes, definitely.
I love to hear about all the kind of centralized community space that's available just for students to be together in community. Especially living through this pandemic, I think we can appreciate now more than ever the need for that kind of space.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it worked out very well this weekend.
Oh yes, we had an amazing workshop led by Dr. Flint for some of our women of color and our mental health issues. I mean, we want to do a lot more of those kinds of small, intimate opportunities to engage students where they're at, around issues that matter to them, about self-care, about their health, about their well-being as a total person, the social, the cultural, the spiritual. You name it. We're going to try to offer opportunities for all the different identities we represent within our communities.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I know you have a few PowerPoint slides to share.
Yes. Yes, so we get to see the vision.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me start my slideshow. I'm sorry. It went from... Okay, so I could never do what I do without an amazing staff. Sienna Abdullahad is our Director of Multicultural Affairs. P.D. Peterson is our Director of Gender and Sexual Diversity. Vanessa King is kind of the second mother of our office. She is our Executive Secretary. And then we have Renee Bradley, who is the Senior Program Coordinator for Gender and Sexual Diversity. And our newest member of our office is Tyler Hodges, who is the Senior Program Coordinator for the Office of Multicultural Affairs. Together, we create this team, working with a variety, not only student staff, but all of our collaborators across campus to make what we do magical. So our mission, basically, is to retain underrepresented populations through their time at the university. We go beyond just appreciating that diversity and increasing awareness, but we actively center the experiences and the voices of those who have been marginalized while promoting accountability that changes the campus culture, transforming Tulane to a place where all can thrive. And we take that very seriously, because it's not about just appreciating diversity. We get kind of caught up sometimes in all of the cliches and all the buzzwords or whatever, but we're about the business of making sure that if we're gonna bring you here, we're gonna make you feel comfortable, included, welcomed, and supported. Let me just go to the next one. We serve as a safe haven that is designed for you, the student, to be seen, heard, and radically loved and nurtured. Consistently advocating for your concerns and wants and helping you to navigate the challenges you may face, providing opportunities to demonstrate our values as an institution, and that our institution values your identities and contributions as individuals as you share your identities with the world, to engage the entire community, to invest in a culture of diversity, inclusion, and equity from an anti-racist lens, to promote a sense of purpose, personal conviction, and meaningful ways to understand and situate yourself in a connection with others in the world, and to consult, and this is what I do a lot, consult with academic and administrative departments in implementing anti-racist, socially just, and equitable policies, practices, and procedures transforming the university. So what we do. So Multicultural Affairs is about supporting students of color, BIPOC students, and their intercultural identity development. The Office of Gender and Sexual Diversity supports queer and trans students in their identity development. And religious life, we serve as a liaison to all the religious communities on campus, but we are supporting the spiritual identity development. And I'm not going to go through all of our mission, because the missions are similar to what I mentioned from Multicultural Affairs, and I'm going to skip through some of this. From Multicultural Affairs, we have the things we do: community engagement to support persistence and self-belonging, a decolonized leadership development to cultivate coalition building and programming, advocacy to support growth and agency, cultural identity development, I'm sorry, it jumped, and social justice educational opportunities. And we have a host of programs. I mean, from our ambassador program, peer mentor programs, our orientation programs, things like Wednesdays with the O, which is an extremely popular program. We actually opened the center yesterday with our first Wednesdays with the O in the center, and it went really well. We had over 70 students come through, so it was good. And graduate student programming.
That's a much needed program too, is to include the grad students. So yeah, that's amazing.
We offer at least 2 major receptions each semester. And then we do targeted programming in collaborations with those schools around issues that they're interested in. Our cultural identity, we have history and heritage months, achievement ceremonies like our Emoja celebration and our lavender graduation. And then social justice, we've been working for the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years developing the CEA program, the Community Engagement Advocates Program. Really proud about this program that we collaborate strongly with the Center for Public Service to educate and train our students to be peer facilitators, to go in to classrooms and offices and student organizations to really have those difficult conversations about race, about class, about um, sexuality and gender and ableism and you name it. So that program is growing. We have over 50 students who've been trained as facilitators. Um, we have an amazing Kaleidoscope residential learning community over in Monroe, where students take, I mean, we do a series of programs and activities with them to educate them around these issues. And there's a class, a TIES class, that is co-taught by both PD and Sienna around these issues as well. We do a lot of collaboration training and with faculty and staff, also thinking about how to create safe and inclusive spaces. These are just some of the things we do, some of the programs we offer. Like this week, we're in Sex Week. We're collaborating with the Well, with Downtown, with a whole host of offices to have conversations about issues around safe sexual health.
Yeah, Sex Week this week. Yes.
Yes. Yes. And then we advise so many different organizations. This is just a kind of sample of the types of organizations that we support. And some of these organizations are undergrad and some of them are grad and some of them are both undergrad and grad. But one of our goals is to make sure our student organizations are thriving and are collaborating and are able to do the kinds of programs that make their communities feel welcome. So our Office of Gender and Sexual Diversity, again, the mission is about from a social justice framework, aiming to cultivate and support that growth and connection for our LGBT community. Envisioning a community that is accountable and committed to unlearning and eliminating heterosexism, cissexism through intersectional racial justice and decolonization approach. A community where there are waves of inclusion, of affirming all genders and sexual identities. And through OGSD, there are a host of resources. There are what we call the Wiser Affinity online spaces. We have a Mosaic Lounge, which is located over in Warren. There's an external lounge off the quad. We work closely with the Gender and Sexuality Studies program. And then we work on gender affirmative housing, restaurants, and chosen name and pronouns. And then they do a host of community engagement and authentic leadership development. Audre Lorde Days, which we've been in, LGBT history and celebration days, a lavender graduation, as I mentioned, and a queer two-lane healing space. And one of the things we've recently focused on is getting BIPOC, gay and trans student programming. So we feel that's extremely important. And these are some of the programs that we've done. We have pronoun buttons that we give out. We've done all kinds of neat activities in OGSD. And then we have a host of LGBT student organizations both at the undergrad and the grad and professional level that we work with closely. Okay. And then we encourage students of how to get in contact with us. We do newsletters, a lot of social media, but the one thing we want to make sure the students understand is if they feel that there are times in which things do not go well, that they are microaggressed, or that there has been, God forbid, a racist or homophobic activity or encounter that they've experienced, to please let us know. We take this very serious, and as you read in the president's letter today, that Tulane, there's no place for hate at Tulane. Any kind of bias, any kind of discrimination in that area. So if a student really has experienced something, please let us know. We will address it. We will work with others to get some resolution. And it's always at the Tulane's Concerns Report.
Carolyn.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Can you go back to the slide, how to contact us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when to contact us, because I think it's important for us to know too.
Okay.
And for maybe the campus community to know like when to send students your way.
Right.
Could you just expound on some of these?
Sure, I think it's important. If you're a student exploring your identity, seeking ways to learn more about these issues that you're interested in. If you're not finding enough opportunities to connect to others on campus who have like identities or like interests, please call us, contact us. If you're having trouble identifying academic, social, cultural enrichment opportunities, let us know. Experiencing challenges, accessing resources to support your academic success, or facing issues related to bias and discrimination, whether you are targeted or targeting, please contact us. We have a number of resources and a number of connections through our collaborations we've developed over the years to make sure that your issues are addressed. If you are, if you need assistance in navigating the practices and policies and procedures on campus, you can also call us. And we say that to faculty and staff too, if they're looking to partner with us for cultural or social or any of the issues around diversity and inclusion. We welcome the opportunity to work with you as we focus on issues that relate to our students. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that was helpful. I think
the concerns report too, we want to mention that students, anyone in the community can submit concerns, and you can submit those anonymously.
Right.
So if you're worried in some way about revealing who you are, you can still make those submissions so that it's on the radar and can be addressed in some way.
Right, right. And yeah, you could be a faculty, staff, alum, student, someone's roommate or suite mate. It doesn't always have to be about you. If you witness something, and you want to report it, that's the fastest way for it to be addressed.
Yeah. And then I think you guys are great to be consulted if the person is maybe trying to figure it out, right? Because, they may feel like they want to, but may be afraid of retaliation, because we know that oftentimes students of color don't always trust those systems that are in place, right, to actually be confidential.
Right.
So I think that the Intercultural Life would be a great place to consult around that and to help you properly decision make around it.
And then we, if we need to, we tie them back to the, sometimes it's about walking students over to a service, like walking them over to counseling and saying, we know folks over there who are committed, who are allies, who understand these kinds of challenges. We may not have those resources, those skills, but we're going to get you to the right people who can really address your issues. I don't know how many times I pick up the phone per week, calling financial aid, calling counseling, calling, you know, international, whatever, to figure out how we can address a student's issue. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it goes the other way too. I know I've spoken with students who are maybe not finding community or not feeling well connected. And I've talked about the Center for Intercultural Life and said, you know, let's take a look here and see if there might be a way. And you know, Wednesdays at the O have been around for so long, and I have all the years I've worked here said, just go on Wednesday, just get free lunch. Y'all still do lunch? Is it lunch?
Yes, we still do lunch from 12 to, it says 12 to 1, but we always encourage students to get there by 12:15 because the line is long and food goes quick.
I've been to those.
Yeah.
You got to get there on time.
Yeah, but if a student is really not connecting, we have peer mentor program. We have over 60 students who are upperclassmen who, because they've experienced the same kinds of issues, volunteer to really help, particularly first year students to connect. But it's not just about first year students, because there are grad students, there's transfer students, there's all kinds of students who are not finding their niche, that maybe we can help connect them with folks of like mind, of like interests, of like identity. So, yeah,
that's an excellent resource, and thank you for being there for the students, because we know, I love the O because there are a lot of students on campus with food insecurities. I've seen you guys get students linked up with resources and to come and get food and snacks and things like that. So it's important for students to know you exist on this campus, especially when they're first coming in and throughout their trajectory on campus.
Right. We try to really help them in all of their identities and all of their development, whether it is, like I said, that academic or cultural or social or spiritual connection, because we know that all those things matter, in a student's life. So if we can figure out a way to address those issues, we will try to do that. So,
and so often I think helping students just not feel alone. I think students who maybe struggle financially or have food insecurity or that they might think they're the only one.
Right, and there's tons of students. I can't even tell you how many graduate students have food insecurity, let alone
exactly.
Housing insecurity, insurance insecurity, book insecurity. I mean, there's lots of issues, and COVID is really kind of uncovered a lot of this for us. So we have been networking with a number of resources on campus of how we can get free meal passes or the possibility of creating a pantry or we have a clothing donation opportunity, or if they're having insurance, we have that. We pick up the phone and call like the health center and say, okay, what can we do about this student? So it's about problem solving. I figure I try to be the Olivia Pope sometimes. That's how I can
fix it.
I can fix it. I'm the fixer.
Fix it.
You know what brings me joy is having an alum call me and say, you know what, you are the reason why I made it through Tulane. I am, and this year it's been really interesting, because I remember students way back when who are now sending their children to me and saying, are you still there? Are you still there? I send my kids there. You're gonna take care of them.
Wow.
So I just feel totally blessed. And it's all about paying it forward. Someone did it for me. And I went to a small private white institution in Podunk, Ohio, in rural Ohio. And, there were about 100 Black students. And there was no one like me, like my office at that place. And you know, to know what I missed there and be able to create it here is just a blessing. You know, we have a program we created about 4 years ago because we found out a lot of students aren't going abroad. There was lots of misconception or challenges, you know, like, you know, you have to have money to go abroad if you're not doing the junior year abroad, or if it's not a part of the academic program. Some students don't want to go away for a whole year or a whole semester. So we created a cultural immersion program, which is 2 weeks, looking at, looking through the lens of the transatlantic connection between New Orleans and Afro-diasporic countries. A 2-week immersion program where they live with families while they're there. They're touring, they get course credit for them. And for the most part, most of them have gotten full financial coverage for those trips. So, you know, that, and, you know, we're able to take about 10 to 15 to 20 students, you know, to places like Senegal and Dominican Republic and Haiti and Brazil. Huh?
Bahia.
Bahia, yes, in Brazil, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. And you know, COVID affected us, but we are still on track to at least try to salvage this semester to Senegal. We're not going to go in June, but we possibly go in December or January. If not, then next summer.
And the weather's nice there during that time too. So.
Yeah. Opposite to ours. But our weather's crazy anyway, so
no.
You can't ever tell. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Carolyn, for all that you do on campus. And I think I can speak for the entire campus community when I say what an honor. I am so glad that you are able to do this work even in a wider space, to create even more programming and to offer students even more now. So congratulations, and sis, and may everything that you touch be blessed and be fruitful. Thank you so much for joining us today as well.
I stand on the backs of those who come before me, and I can only give homage to them by paying it forward. So thank you so much.
Yes.
Real quick, before we wrap up, I'm gonna share my screen just to give our watchers the information about the counseling center. Quick reminder that the Uptown Clinic is located now in the Diebold Complex, and the entrance is right across the street from the Riley Center entrance, so it's on the first floor. Clinic hours, we're open until 7 p.m. now, Monday through Thursday. That's been in place for several semesters. On Fridays, we still close at 5. It's really easy to get started at the Counseling Center. Just one quick phone call to 504-314-2277. You'll speak with one of our patient representatives, Charlesetta or Belinda, that you see on your screen, and they will arrange for a same-day appointment as best they're able, given your schedule. Most of those are conducted via Zoom right now because of the pandemic, but you'll get to meet with somebody right away that same day. And in that meeting, it's a consultation where we talk about what might be going on and make some recommendations and get a plan in place for you to move forward. Just a reminder that we have lots and lots of groups. It's a great way to find other community, find like-minded folks, maybe find some people who are going through something similar to what you're experiencing. And that is all. So don't forget to look us up. Don't forget to follow TU Campus Health on the YouTube channel or on Instagram, and that's where these Wellbeing Wednesday episodes show up every Wednesday. And Carolyn, it's such a pleasure to see you and have you here. I just am so delighted that you've got this space, your namesake, that represents all this that you have done for this community and continue to do with such humility and kindness and empathy.
And grace.
Thank you.
And grace.
Could not do it without all of y'all, all of my allies and partners in crime. That's what I say.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. What is it? Good trouble? we
Good
get into
trouble.
Good trouble,
Definitely.
yes.
Well,
Yes.
with that, we'll say goodbye. I hope we'll see you again sooner rather than later, and maybe
Yes.
in person.
Please come.
Yes.
We
Indeed.
have a soft opening on April 9th.
Okay.
Oh, good. I'll
Put it
be
on my
there.
calendar. All right.
What time, Carolyn?
3 to 5, I believe.
Okay.
Right.
I'm sure
Got
there'll
it.
be some emails that go out
Oh,
around that.
yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
All right. So with that, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see everybody back here next Wednesday for Wellbeing Wednesdays. Be well.